Welcome back to Just Carve Rob, and we're carving a Christmas tree. A Christmas spirit tree. That's what we're carving. More camera issues. Yep. Don't know where the first part of this went. Uh, Went to edit it, and where I carved the hat and part of the face is gone. So all we got here is carving some branches, and you guys will get to see the finished guy at the end. It's gonna be a short and sweet video for you, so you don't have to go through all that pain of 20 minutes of me blah 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 and yapping. See that? Make sure you keep your fingers out of the way when you're making them side cuts. If that knife slips, boy, woo! You're gonna be sorry. Should be wearing your glove. So my problem is I carve with my left hand, then I carve with my right hand, so I'd have to wear gloves on both hands. So when you're carving these little guys, it's hard enough to get a grip on them. It's hard to get a grip on them with a bare hand, and with a glove, I just can't get a hold of it. If they just want to slip around. So we're carving up underneath the nose. We got two of the bows that are going to be his mustachio. And we're using the flex cut 1.5 inch knife here. Doing a little shaping. Flex cuts are a good knife. I have not used my flex cut knives in a long time. So I figured, well, let's carve this little guy with the flex cut knife. So I dug it out of my, this is usually kept in my truck carving box, or my out and about box, whatever you want to call it. I keep some carving knives and some chisels and stuff like that, and it's always ready to go. So, like, for example, I know I gotta go grocery shopping. Boo. I will throw that box in my truck, and while the old lady is out grocery shopping, I get to sit in the truck and carve. 1.5 inch OCC knife. Now we're gonna cut his mouth in. We're using that chip cut. You basically go in from the left and right like a triangle, and then come in from underneath to pop that chip out. Right now I'm putting a lower lip in this guy, under the mustache or bows. And we're doing a little cleanup, getting rid of all the fuzzies from out from underneath there. We're cutting up and under the bow to make it stand out a little bit better. And we're running at 2 times the speed. Now we're getting ready to we're doing a little scoop cut to give our bows like that little bit of a radius to them. Now we're coming in under it. I'm using the table to stabilize the piece of wood. And that will be our lower bows right there. So I'm putting one bow over the other, kind of like you do with fish scales. So the left bow will be under the right bow. You can see that little lip we got hanging out there. And we're using that scoop cut, doing a little scoop in there. This guy is only like 3 inches tall. It was made on a corner piece of 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 by 3 inch long basswood block that was cut on the bandsaw so that you had a 45-degree corner on each side. This guy's a little Christmas hat on. We're digging that in under there a little bit more. And now we're, watch your finger. We're cutting up and under there. And then that center part will just be like one poking out. And we'll go through this with the micromotor with it's a fur bit. It kind of looks like a very skinny saw blade. I use it for doing a lot of hair detail, especially on these little guys. I've got two different sizes. I got one that's about a 1/4 inch in diameter and one that's about 3/8 in diameter. And yeah, I don't know why this camera filmed this way. I mean, it's being held the same way as all the rest of any of the other videos that I've made with it. But for some reason, this one went into like sideways vision. So by the time I rotated it, this is what we get. So I don't exactly know what to do with that. So we're just going to have to suffer through it, I guess. Cutting the eyes in. Okay, we're putting 2 dots to keep them level. And then we'll put 2 more dots to the outside, how big we want to make the eyes. And that will also keep them level. Then we're going to smooth that cheek out a little bit, do a little scoopy cut to give him some eyebrows, and flattening out his forehead a little bit. Like that. Do a little scoop maneuver there. The eyes weren't exactly where I want them, or the dots. So we had to adjust our face. That's another good thing about putting your dots in. It'll let you adjust your face. Now we're doing that chip cut again and popping the corner out. We'll do it on the other side, pop that corner out. That kind of gives you the roundness. With these little guys, it's hard to put in highly detailed eyes. So you can get away with just doing a chip cut in each corner. And then I just connect the two with a little line. See, we'll put that chip cut, we're putting that little line in. And I'll cut down from the eyeball down to that line to start rounding that side of it over. You really don't got to get this detailed with your eyes. You put them 2 chip cuts in and cut a pupil in there. And then just, if you paint it white with the little pupil hole in there, and good enough. But I'm just kind of picking around here, getting a little carried away with it for a little tiny eyeball like this. It never seems to work out right for me when I'm doing eyes this small to get really detailed on them. We're cutting a little bag in. It's just very tedious. But you can see what I'm talking about. So now we got a diamond burr in there. We are putting hair on the ruff of the hat. Smoothing out the face a little bit. Using the micromotor. Made by Mastercarb. It's the Mastercarb Pro micromotor with the 1/8 inch collet. We're digging in a little bit deeper to make the cheeks stick out, kind of frame the face, as Kevin over there at Sticks and Stones would say. This video is terrible. Sorry about that. I've tried cropping it as well as I could to keep everything above the board. That's one bad thing when you're carving these little faces. You want to get them really, a lot closer to you, and so you can see what you're doing. And I keep sliding back out of my little white square there. Working that nose, rounding it over, making it more like a ball. This is, for me, it's all practice. Practicing Santa Claus faces. Practicing faces in general. It don't matter what I put them on. I could carve a shoe with a wood spirit face on it. It's just practice. Practice, practice, practice. To get the faces the way that I think they should be. Okay, there's that little fur cutting bit. You see it's like a little circular saw. Goes in the micromotor or Dremel 1/8 inch shaft on that. I think I got the micromotor spinning at about 30,000 RPMs. It does go up to 45,000. And we're just texturing. Basically just giving it like the little pine needle things. And Now we're brushing it off. You can see what I'm dealing with here. This is the way that this filmed for some reason. But in order to give you a good look at it, I kind of left it sideways. Okay, and there it is. The little fur cutting bit. Got this at mountainwoodcarvers.com if you're interested. I like it. It works really good for cutting in them fine hairs on little things. And then I got a bigger one. Okay, oh, he can't breathe. He's got no snot holes. So we've got this carbide flame burr here. Came from Amazon and one of them sets of 10. I think they're like $15. And we're just putting some snot holes in there so our tree can breathe. And this is real time, in case you're wondering. And we're just digging it in there. Blow up his nose. Get some of the dust out of there. And that's how we do it right there. And we're going to use that to round that nose over a little bit more. This is a very fine fluted metalworking burr. So it's kind of like a little planer to smooth that out. And where I couldn't get that wheel up underneath there, I went back with that and I just tried putting some lines in. All right, share, subscribe, and like. Be awesome. Carve something awesome. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays. Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas. And we will catch you on the next one. All right? All right. Bye-bye.